So this has been maddening me for a while, right? So I'm just gonna put my thoughts on the internet for a bit. You know, I rather frequently go toe to toe with entire Discord communities because I'm a regular wrong thinker. You know, although I've come to the conclusion that Discord and Reddit are essentially the same product, that's not what this video is about, so I'm going to stay on topic. So a user in a Discord that I'm in, a modding Discord, recently posted a video about how their AI art, rather heavy emphasis on that, and talking about how awesome their artwork is. I touched off a nuclear debate when I made an albeit snarky comment about how you should just get better at art, Kekel. This isn't my first interaction with these people, so my patience is already worn a little thin. But what happened within this discussion is truly depressing, and I have to share it because I feel like I've truly stared into the mouth of madness, or Mark Twain and his adventures. So let's just dive in for a minute, shall we? You know, I've had this discussion before. It's useful. You just need functional VO and music generating AI, and everything will be easier. And it's like everything will be easier. Now look, what would be the point in even making it? This is what I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, voice over AI is good already. Now, voice AI kind of falls into a different category, in my opinion. It's not like demonstrable artwork. Like, voice actors are talented, and I understand that. But there's really only so much you can do when trying to find, like, a billion voice actors to get voice roles done. Like, it's whatever. So they're talking about yada yada. So here's where I started it all. Just practice being an artist, Kekel. Like, it's that fucking easy. And this is where it really starts. It gets sad. Okay, I want you to, like, buckle up. All right, I need you to be ready to jerk some tears, because this is depressing. So this guy, this poor sod, he starts talking about, and I know this guy. I'm really not trying to shade this person. I've talked to this guy before. We know each other. I've even done a little bit of voice work for this guy. I like him personally. I like him. I really don't want this to come off like I'm just mindlessly attacking someone on the internet. But this is so maddening to me that I have to share it. This is like my therapy session. He starts talking about how he has practiced art. He's went to art courses, and all of his artwork ends up looking like dog shit anyway. Now, this happens a lot when you start practicing art. I know this. My artwork was once dog shit too. In fact, I still think it's pretty garbage, but like, it's better now, I think. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not famous on Instagram yet, so I guess I'm not a good artist. But the point is, oh no, they're typing. They're not done yet. The point is they don't want to practice their artwork. He says, I'm just not very good at drawing. Every once in a while, I draw cartoon-style characters, but the fans are too demanding. They're just too much. You know, they're banging down his door, telling him he needs to get better at his artwork. They probably wouldn't like anything I draw. Now, that's just fucking sad. He had to learn how to do animation files and code and the 3D modeling, particles, everything for his mod. You know, I do that too. That's just what you do when you take on mod work the size of our mods. I mean, anyone in a mod community can probably relate. You know? He's finally reached his limits of what he can realistically do. He can't handle it anymore. He just didn't have time to draw, so he's decided to steal instead. But that's really not even the point. My point is not so much that he has no confidence in his art and that he refuses to take the time to improve. That's not quite actually what I'm trying to get at in all this discussion. In a human versus AI situation, AI simply wins. I did minor Photoshop edits to some images, but that was it. So he's claiming that he does not give a fuck. He just does not care enough to try more. But AI offers him this shortcut. Like, you'd be mad to not take up this shortcut. Like, this is insane. One life hack that will change your art career. That's what he's saying. Midjourney is just so easy to use. I just typed a complex sentence and it visualized what I typed. My creative input was still there.
Oh my god.
Creative input was still there. That's like being the coach on a team and then saying you were out there making the play. Like, the creative direction is important, but unless you're out there, like, the coach isn't out there taking credit for what the team physically performed. Like, are you fucking stupid? I mean, how many other players would ever come up with a winter-themed Aztec god? I'm like, creativity is only gets you so far. So my response, and there's so much to respond here, and I'm kind of trying to choose what's most important here. So my point wasn't necessarily to disdain upon AI art, although I do think it's a plague. I really do. This is not a debate. AI art is absolute cancer. My point is that I was once at an artistic stage similar. You know, I get frustrated when art wasn't coming out how I imagined it to be, because my imagination heavily outweighs what I was capable at the time. I still have come across projects. I still make artwork that I think is sometimes a little outside of my scope and a little unwieldy. You practice more. Point is that if you continue practicing and honing rather than taking the shortcut, now I'm a professional artist. Professional, I use that term very loosely. Like I'm professional as in I've decided I'm a professional artist. I don't exactly get hired, but I'm in the art industry, and I make video games, like original video games that I make my own artwork. People seem to like it, so I don't know if I can, take it with a grain of salt. But the point is that not so much me, but Midjourney and these AI art tools, they don't make new art. I mean, they do in the sense where an image is different than the source material that they took, but they aren't capable of drawing it themselves. They aren't capable of creating itself. It is composited and collaged from other existing human artists. Without a reference point to look through, the AI wouldn't be able to create anything of this caliber. Maybe it could try, but it would never be able to create exactly what it has without being able to have all of this backlog of human artwork. Quoting this Midjourney is so easy to use, I just typed in it. My creative input was still there. Like, it's not... You told it what to create. I said it's not your visualization, though. It's an approximation of someone else's artwork collaged into what you told it. How can you say you're proud of it? And that's the bottom line here is how can you be proud of your work when it's not your work? It's nothing your work. There's no transformative nature to it in the slightest. I have my reasons. My actual study is almost worthless because of a completely different set of reasons. Not sure how that's relevant to this discussion. Most media is already super derivative at the moment. Most TV shows steal from stuff that came before them. Instead of mythological versions of elves, and most fantasy shows just use Tolkien's version of elves. Yeah, that's true, and that's kind of unoriginal, uninspired, especially since most fantasy writers completely missed the point of Tolkien's elves. The fact that they're, I don't even get into that. That's a completely different discussion. Even if I draw something, it will be heavily influenced by the artist before me, and I'll be accused of using something else from a culture that's not mine. Now, that, in my opinion, is a complete scapegoat argument. That is complete bullshit. Who cares? Like, this game is heavily based... this is a strategy game from the fucking early 2000s about folklore and mythology and history of existing cultures. Do you mind? I'm trying to make a video here. I'm trying to make my annual video over here. It's just not a real point. Like, who cares? Honestly, who gives a damn? I also tried blending various images, i.e. collaging various images to create something new, and I just feel that Midjourney is simply studying the patterns and yada yada yada. The art pieces that make headlines nowadays are quite bizarre. Someone duct taped a banana to a wall and sold it for $120,000. Any random artist I saw on Google was more talented. That's not the point. That's like completely irrelevant. Feel AI will simply take over every field in the end. I don't think that's true. I think that AI will become more blended into fields, but I doubt there will ever become a point where AI takes over like every field. Like, it will never take over coding. It's just not possible. Like, an AI can create individual scripts that would work, but it's not able to combine them very well. It will never be able to combine them very well because humans will have specific needs that an AI probably won't ever be able to understand. Or perhaps I'm speaking too soon, because 10 years from now, I don't fucking know I don't even know if I'll be here. But he's like, oh, I just, even if it's unethical, I just can't believe how fucking much better it is than my artwork. So I'm like, yeah, this is like a massive fucking cope, and it's still missing the point. And he's like, even if we reach the same conclusion, it doesn't matter, because AI is just going to always be better. It's like, AI is nothing without its human backing. Originality isn't the point. This man has clearly black-pilled a couple times. Too many. You should be able to take pride in your work, and you should obviously want to be able to produce artwork for your projects. Like, this guy clearly wants to do that. He wants to make artwork, but bothered by his own inability, so he's given up and he steals artwork via an AI craft. He wears the modern art license, that's what he was going on about, as a cloak to deflect criticism. We go through all this shit that I just basically recap, but all of it's like, it's a mod. You're making a mod. What's the end goal here for your project? Is it clout? Is it money? You're not going to get any of these things from an old game. So it must be something you care about. And if you care about it, why are you so excited about having an AI automate all the processes? I essentially said, if an AI, by his own logic, if an AI could create the entire project itself, like it would, and he'd be okay with that. That's his logic. It sounds like he doesn't even want to make it. It sounds like it's an obligation for him to make it, and all these shortcut tools would completely destroy the human process. What's the point? What is the point? So he said that once an AI gives itself a task, then it is no longer a tool, it is a person. So I quoted Diogenes of Behold a Man, when stated that a man is like a featherless biped or whatever the fuck, and he plucked chicken. Behold a man. This is the same argument. Well, what is the definition of a person? Apparently, it's something you can give a task to and it will perform it. I think that's complete bullshit. Like, anything can be a person then. My 3D printer is a fucking person because I was able to give it the task of printing something. That makes it it's able to do it by itself. I don't have to fucking monitor it for 12 hours. It does it by itself. It's magic. It's a person. This argument is so beyond silly. This is driving me insane. The point is these people, they're underdeveloped artists. They have no skill in the field. They want to have skill in the field, but they don't. They don't put in the effort to try. They don't put in the effort to improve, but they want to show off their shit. So they take all these shortcuts. They take all this cheating, essentially what is stealing, and they call it a day, and they show it off, and they expect everyone to clap like a seal. So someone typed something new while I was making this video, and I'll read that. You know what? Let's go through this together. This is happening in real time. This is like a live stream. I'm not okay. I said you're cheapening your own imagination by allowing a machine to create it for you. You might as well let the machine create everything for you. That's what I said. I'm not really into it myself when it comes to campaign creation or buying models. I'd like the sweat behind my work and how personal it has become, like the usage of that AI, right? Yeah. I did check out audio AI, and I must say I prefer human voices over those. Well, you always will. It doesn't matter how good the AI gets. You'll always prefer a human acting. Why wouldn't you? Bro, basically, I'm just so sick of being fed arguments that all of these fake things are just as good as the real things. They're not, they never will be, and you fucking know it. Like soy-based meat substitutes, they'll never be as good, and you fucking know it. Like, it just won't. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. We can all stop pretending. We can stop playing pretend like we did 2 years ago, or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna lose my mind, so I think it's time we wrapped up. So it was lovely to see the internet again once more. I know I post like once a year. That was fantastic. We should really do this again sometime. Until then, you can let me know your thoughts, but if your thoughts aren't that AI art is a farce, then you're wrong. I was joking. This isn't a debate. This isn't a discussion. If you think AI art is adequate, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I don't care what you have to say then if that is the case. Okay, I'll see you later.